Hi, I'm Amy Butler, and welcome to the International Quilt Market. This is spring 2008 in Portland, Oregon, and I'm here with the DIY group, and we're going to talk a little bit about design, creativity, and some of the fun things we've got going on with Amy Butler Design. Well, my background, I was raised in a very creative household. Since I was very, very young, I started sewing and making crafts with my mom and my grandma, and so it's kind of always been a big part of me as an artist. And then I went to art school, Columbus College of Art and Design, and I got a bachelor's degree in fine art, fashion design, and textile design. So my whole passion evolved. If I look back at my early drawings, I would spend time on doing a drawing of like a toad or a mushroom, and then I'd spend hours and hours on the pattern border around the artwork. So I kind of got a sense early on that I was really into repeats and design and pattern. So that's what I ended up focusing on in college. When I graduated, I had an opportunity to design for Tahari Sportswear in New York or work for Hallmark Cards in Kansas City, Missouri. And I thought, you know, I'll get this design experience at Hallmark, and then I'll still work on my fashion on the side, and I'll kind of go at it from another angle. So that's kind of what I ended up doing. I worked with Hallmark for 4.5 years, and then Dave and I moved back to Ohio to be with our families and started Art of the Midwest. So my husband Dave and I have had our studio for almost 17 years now. And Amy Butler Design, which started out as an offshoot side project, started 7 years ago. Through lots of different experiences, and over the years I've done a lot of illustration. I've done surface design for other companies, and Dave and I have done brand development and product development. And we had an opportunity through working with Country Living magazine for me to develop sewing patterns through stories I was producing. So that's how I got into the quilt market. And I set up my first booth 7 years ago with my sewing patterns, and soon after I met Free Spirit Fabrics and had my first fabric collection. And it's been incredibly fulfilling because this is always something I've wanted to do. So right now my business is doing extremely well. We're having fun, we're growing. I'm getting into other markets. I have a lifestyle brand, and that's kind of one of the things I think that set me apart when I first started in the quilt industry. Was my perspective comes from fashion, textile design, and loving quilts and having that be a big part of my life, and then being able to infuse my focus on fashion and accessories. It's been an incredible combination, so I'm really thankful to be here.
Hi, I'm Elise.
And I'm Melissa.
And today we're going to introduce to you our lingerie pattern from McCall's. It's in our DIYStyle line. And it's kind of unique because you can take different pieces and parts and mix them up to design it yourself.
We also have really unique guide sheets in the pattern. We have sewing tips, design tips, different body types, really fun stuff that you can do with your pattern to make it your own.
Panties are really inexpensive to make because of the small amount of yardage needed, and the fabric isn't very expensive. So that was why we thought it was a good idea to design lingerie.
We also thought it would be fun for girls to go out and make gifts for their friends, or just all get together and make some panties.
What we like to call a panty party.
Yes. And it's just a really fun thing to do for girls, and making them Christmas presents, birthday presents, and plus they're really inexpensive, like Elise said.
Our guide sheets are also unique. We show you how to stitch the fabric, especially with these knits. There's certain ways you need to deal with them, and also how to make your own trims, and just some unique ways to design it yourself.
We also applied rhinestones on some of the panties, and it makes it really unique. You can use your own initials, you can use hearts. It's a really fun way to make it different.
Some of the panties are made out of different materials. Some are knits and with lycra, such as swimwear. And then some of the other fabrics are a stretch lace, like we have in this pair as well as this pair.
Lycra is really great, this swimsuit fabric, because you don't necessarily have to finish the edges. On these, we have raw edges that we just scalloped, and they don't ravel or anything. It's a super easy way to sew.
This pair is actually a cotton with lycra in it, and it also doesn't ravel, and this is just the raw edge right here. So that's another great way of making a pair of panties.
We really like to mix it up and put the Lycra with the stretch lace because it gives it a different look, a little sexier, a little fun.
Here's another example of that, just not the top trim. At the front of it's the solid and the back of it's the lace. Now I'm going to show you how to use the rotary cutter to make the scallop edge on these pair of panties. I've already started to cut out part of the underwear up to the scallop point, and take your rotary cutter and open it, and you're going to kind of just follow the pattern in a way and continue until you get to the edge. Be careful not to cut your fingers. The rotary cutter is very sharp. Now we're going to watch Melissa demonstrate how to stitch the seams of the panties together.
I'm going to show you how to do a double stitch, straight stitch seam. And on a stretchy fabric, it helps to stretch the fabric as you sew so it doesn't rip the seams. I'm going to straight stitch 5/8 away from the edge and pull as you sew. And then we're going to do another seam right next to the first one. And make sure your fabric lines up with the edge of the presser foot. And remember to stretch as you sew. And now you're ready to trim off the extra allowance. Trim your threads. This makes the perfect seam for your lingerie.
Thanks for watching our series on lingerie. I hope this inspires you to make your own panties.
And don't forget to check out our new DIY-style pattern by McCall's, number 5651. See you next time.
DIY-style pattern pick of the week. McCall's 5617 is one we love. Get creative and show off your sewing style. Available at mccallpattern.com.